Hello and welcome to the latest episode of What Did I Miss? It feels lately more and more that we're not missing much because it's just all happening and we're constantly getting the input. But joining me today is someone who, because of my newfound Bachelor fandom, 2 episodes in, Jared Freid has very much been a part of my life. Jared, I want you to know that because it was your handling of that show that really shine a light on what I was missing. And so thank you, and thank you for coming on and doing the podcast today. We'll get to some Bachelor crap later, right? But first, sports fan. What? I mean, you have a Bears hat on. Is that accessory, or are you a Bears fan?
I'm a newly found Bears fan. My brother now works for the team, so it's one of those things. It's like men can't, or people can't wear a hat and not have like, so Chicago, West Loop, oh Bears, the Bears, and it's like, can I just like wear a fashionable hat and feel like and not have to talk to people? I have headphones in.
No, well, I will say this. I think maybe it's also Chicago, which for me, no offense to New York, Philly, Boston, to me it's like the coolest sports city in America. But the other thing is, welcome to being a woman. Wearing a sports hat, being a woman is like, there used to be Cosmo magazine articles that would say, to meet a man, wear a sports cap and then start and you're like, memorize 2 facts about said team. I was like, really? And then you're turning into a living.
It's like, oh, what do we do? Yeah, it's like, what are we doing to ourselves? Like those Cosmo magazine covers did not age well. Like if you go look back at like the one from like 1998, it's like, just like horrific advice that you would like to tell you, like hide your daughter's eyes from.
Well, we didn't know which direction we were heading. All right, so new Bears fan, but living in New York, so that will always be a conversation.
I'm from Boston, so I'm a lifetime Patriots fan. So I'm from outside of Boston, and yeah, this is. But I'm a huge fan of you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me. This is so cool.
I'm pumped. I'm super stoked. It's too bad Gabe's not on today. I don't know if you know our guy Gabe hates Tom Brady more than he may hate Tom Brady more than he hates cancer. If we're being honest, like hates.
He
Tom
must
Brady.
He must be self-conscious.
Yeah,
he must have very low confidence. Low confidence people don't like Tom Brady. That's the reality. Like people without confidence can't respect someone who was just like them and rose above through hard work to marry a supermodel and be a 6-time Super Bowl champion. It's a reflection on you. It's a look in the mirror. Tom Brady's an inspirational character to me. And
he was like us. He was doughy, he was just a normal soft.
Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I never put
Tom Brady was us, and he was the 5th stringer. Like, he may have been recruited higher than maybe I was, but at the same time, like, Tom Brady he wasn't the coach's son. He wasn't Archie Manning's son. Nope. He was a kid with all sisters. He goes to Michigan, not highly recruited. They bring in Drew Henson even when he was a starter, they brought in Drew Henson. Then he goes to the Patriots. He's a 4th stringer. I mean, he is everything that they tell us. Oh, if you work hard, life's tough. And he's like, no, I just worked hard and did my job, and look how well it turned out. So anyone that hates Tom Brady, I get it in a sports sense, but if you hate Tom Brady, you have a problem with yourself. You have a problem with your own inadequacies. You have a problem with your own inability to buckle down and do your job well. And that's my piece on Tom Brady. And anyone who disagrees, you can DM Michelle Beadle.
No, this is like 20 years we've been watching Tom Brady. I think this might be the first and only time that it's ever been broken down in precisely that manner and actually makes total sense because we never see Tom Brady as like ever. I mean, we all have memorized his picture during the draft and fine. But so much has happened between then and now that the underdog thing is long gone. But like, you're right. Oh my God, Gabe, get your life together, bro.
Right? Dumped you, Gabe. Like, that's anytime someone is like, I hate Tom Brady, I'm like, what did a woman do to you, man? Like you
Gabe
need
knows.
To chill. You need to you need to go get some therapy. It's not Tom. It's your dad.
Oh, now we got to have like a whole episode where we just break down Gabe and his, we were doing that. We're obviously in the middle of NBA time. This week has been, I know, good luck, Gabe. It's going to be 7 more episodes of Gabe. NBA has been cartoonish in its high scoring games, so much so that I've had to double check scores repeatedly in the last several weeks, especially that they weren't overtime scores. And we had two 60-point drops this week in one night, which I think is crazy. There are people that argue for and against this, right? Some say, ugh, I don't like it. It means there's no defense being played. And then the other part is like, no, but it's super entertaining. Where do you lie in this argument?
I mean, I'm always going to be on the side of scoring. I think like that's fun. One of the 60-point games was Kyrie. I'm not really a Kyrie fan because I'm a Celtics fan, and the way he let but I am a fan of trolling, and I think Kyrie has like mastered the art of trolling Boston sports fans.
Nice.
He compared himself to like an ex-girlfriend. Like he compared the Boston fans to like a scorned lover. And like the Boston fans, like I don't think people were like happy to see him go. So it's interesting when he was like, oh, it's like your ex being mad at you for doing well. And it's like, no, we didn't love you. And the more the Boston fans say they didn't love him, the more they sound like they really loved him and feel broken up with. So I have to respect Kyrie because he has like third level trolled Boston people, and Boston people are easy to troll. We love being the underdog. Boston people always think like you think you're better than me. Like they play up that cliche like all the time, every time. So like, Kyrie is winning this mental battle. So I'm in favor. I'm actually proud of him. Like it's like a good one. I have to respect the player.
He's so good at the troll, and not just Boston fan. Like
yes.
He's just good at it. And then he's on the team with Kevin Durant, who we obviously now all know has had burner accounts also set up for the purpose of sort of going at trolls. It is kind of crazy to have such a concentrated brain trust of social media savvy on one team.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Social media savvy and, weird like confidence issues, like weird like pride issues, like weird like to me everyone Durant and Kyrie are like two aunts who live in a Facebook comment section who are like agree to disagree, and you're like I guess I can't beat you there. Yeah, right. Like I guess you're just annoying, like I guess you win.
You win this one. By the way, on the Boston thing, it is kind of crazy that a city, at least in sports especially, it's not like you've had crappy, like you've had some dynasties. So it's odd to me that the underdog thing still plays a part. Why? How?
They can't stop. It's really because I moved away for college, and then I lived in New York, and to watch from afar, because when you live away from home, you get like the national perspective. So you kind of see it from afar, and you're like, oh man, we eat it up being the underdog. And I think because it's a provincial place, people, everyone knows their high school buddies or a friend from a high school that they used to know. And there are areas like that a lot, many parts of the country. Pittsburgh, I was just in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a lot like that. Like, everyone kind of knows a friend of a friend, and everyone dresses for formal events in Steelers gear.
Oh my God.
That's like
speaking of
these areas kind of exist because it's like, this is what we talk about. This is what, brings us together. And it's like, I remember living in Boston, and people like, we have this inferiority complex to New York, and Boston being compared to New York is really not a fair comparison. Like you mentioned, Chicago. Chicago is one of the best cities in the world, and Chicago is like the middle between Boston and New York as far as like the feel. It has the neighborhood, it has the big city. Chicago, New York would be more comparable, but Boston gets compared to New York, and it's not fair. And then they sit there. I remember growing up, they would be like, I remember Target came to Boston.
Okay.
And then everyone was like, in New York, they call it Target. Like, people in New York are so up their own ass and so hoity-toity. They call it Target. Yeah, and it was like, again, it's like that, like you like we are the normals, they are the elites.
Right.
And for that reason, we are better,
Right. God, it is crazy. And the irony is that from the rest of the viewpoint, the point of view of the rest of the country, both are elites. And so it's just like,
Right,
how did we
right.
get here?
East Coast elites, like,
Right. It's all the
yeah,
same.
someone in Des Moines, Iowa, is listening to me being like, "What are you talking about? New York and Boston are the same. What are
Right.
you
Same
like?"
people, isn't it?
Yeah, same thing. You're
Shout out Des
both
Moines.
jerks, aggressive assholes. Like, so
Exactly. There's no
what do
difference. I
we
live in
care?
Texas. I
Yeah,
promise you, if I started taking a poll today, I'd be like, which one's the elite? Boston? Or they're like, well, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. I'm like, there you go. I almost now want to take
same.
this poll. I will go to Target to conduct such
Well,
polls. I love
it's funny
Target.
because I travel the country doing stand up, and I remember I was in Spokane, Washington, and I go up to this like farmers market wine tent,
Nice.
and I was like, "Is this local wine?" And the guy's like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "I live." I live in New York City. He goes, "Yeah, you got like a New York salami vibe." And I was like,
So
first of all, never more offended in my entire life.
does that
Second of
mean?
all, like what does that even mean? I don't know. And then like I started talking about it on stage. I never thought I looked northeast, and it is a northeast
Oh yeah.
look, I guess, that I have. Like,
But you don't
like
know it.
I never really thought of it that way.
What the
No,
hell is a
because
salami
to,
vibe? Like I don't. What is that?
I guess it means I
Charcuterie.
need to lose 20 pounds.
No, I don't.
Like,
That's.
I
I
guess
wouldn't have
that's what it
interpreted.
means.
I don't think I've ever. I mean, I will now start referring to people as having such things, but salami vibe
Yes.
to me would be a compliment. Because of the charcuterie
I
tie-in, and everyone loves that. So I don't
Well,
know.
that I thought he might have known my work. I refer to
Yeah,
myself as the board lord. I scream at charcuterie
right.
on a
Maybe he
daily.
did.
I'm passionate about charcuterie. Maybe he was a big fan, and I should take
Board
the
lord.
compliment. But I at first I was, yeah, I'm the board lord. I
I love
yell at
that.
charcuterie,
Yeah, you
and
should.
because charcuterie to me says more about the person than anything else. Like
Wait, hold on.
imagine,
Go on.
yeah,
Because I
what's
like a
that?
charcuterie. I like to put together charcuterie boards. Actually, I don't like to do it. I like watching my friends do it. What does it say about them?
Okay, so I mean the charcuterie is like a baby.
Okay.
Anyone can make one, and everyone has a picture of the one they made on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I what I believe is when you go to a party, what do? You say there's going to be food at the party. Let me pare down what I'm going to eat today. I won't eat a lot today because I'm going to the party. There's going to be food. And
Right.
then the first thing that greets you is a charcuterie board. And this is the host telling you how much they care about you and your comfort at the party. If they make a charcuterie board that's for Instagram and not for your stomach, they have basically said, I don't give a shit about my guest. I only care about myself and the dopamine I get from an Instagram like. So now that's why you're seeing a lot of stunt charcuterie boards. You're seeing a lot of salami roses that you can't pick with one hand. You're
Ooh.
seeing skeletons and props and people doing trapeze acts. And we've gotten away from the traditionalist
I didn't
board
notice.
and
Yeah.
in favor of a narcissism that exists in this country where everyone's like, I gotta show that I throw a good party no matter how little this helps the satisfaction of my guest.
For, okay, then my friends are definitely not narcissists. These are all strictly charcuterie boards for
Well,
eating purposes. That is amazing.
okay,
I don't go
I
to
gotta
good
see an
parties.
array of meats. I gotta see an array of meats. I gotta see carb
Yeah.
differentiation. I gotta see an eclectic carb,
Yep.
layout. I've got to see some interesting honeys and dips.
How about some
I've got to
Marcona
see,
almonds?
you
You do
know,
need that. The Marcona
love
almonds make or break.
Marcona almonds. That means you've invested some money in this situation. I got to see if your board is all fruit. I didn't come here for a fruit plate. I didn't come
No.
here to for a spa weekend. I'm not here at Canyon Ranch trying to lose a few. I came to party. I came to eat.
The board lord, ladies and gentlemen, which is brilliant, by the way. This is the only segue I could think of because narcissism, I think current times, I think social media, as an old person, I judge all of these things now. And the Baker Mayfield, I think this yesterday, day before, wrote it's basically a goodbye, right? But it's on the Notes app. And he's not the first public persona to address something somewhat serious via Notes app. Where does the Notes app lie in today's general social pop culture world?
You know what's so funny? I'm happy you brought this up, Michelle.
Thank you.
What's so funny about the Notes app is that it is interesting because I once put up a joke via the Notes app and people were like, we thought you were canceled. Like the Notes app gives like legit people's minds go straight to apology. If you see Notes app, you're like, apology, what did I do? Like, what did this person do? And it is interesting that our brains have been reformed. Like, we didn't even know canceling existed a decade ago. And now our brain sees a background and we're like, okay, what did that person do wrong? And so when I saw the Notes app from Baker, I was like, what happened here? Time to zone in. And it's like, it's interesting. So if you want something, it's interesting that if you want something read in this day and age by a lot more people, put it on the Notes app because people will think it's scandalous.
Right. But
and you could be like,
practical?
Hey, I have a show this Saturday night in New York City. People are like, why did I read this? I thought you fucked up. You know?
No, not this time. Actually, that's like a good point.
No.
But can we all? It's a Post-it
idea.
note. It's a computer generated Post-it. It's the thing because the thing is when you're texting back and forth with someone or you don't want them to see the three little bubbles that you're sitting there texting for the next 30 minutes while you write something out. I'm assuming a lot of what he wrote either came in the bathroom or wherever people do their best thinking until they come up with a better app for that. It is funny because it's like automatically we forgot what he wrote. We just know that it was on the Notes app. It was on the Notes app. Had to be something.
The reason I've ever used the Notes app, and I didn't realize that it like was a signal for I have done wrong, which is what I've figured out. But the reason I use it is because if you're writing a text, you don't want to text it you don't want to form a text in the bubble because there's a chance you might send it by accident. So you want to form the text in the Notes app, get it all, and then copy and paste it to the group chat, who then reviews it, says, is it good? Is it bad? Then you copy and paste it back in the Notes app, and then you copy and paste it back in the bubble to send to the person you're dumping. In this scenario, he could screenshot it so that he could format it to fit one page. So I do understand why he used the Notes app.
By the way, shout out to him for saying goodbye before they did. Shout out Baker Mayfield. It's always good to say goodbye first.
He was like, you're not firing me, I quit. You know, like that was I don't know. Do you think he's leaving? Do you think this is his way out?
I mean, it certainly feels that way. Because he had to put that statement out. He's got agents, he's got people, he's got a wife, he's got, people around him to say, yeah, don't do that. So if everyone was cool with it, I'm assuming it sucks too, because if you're being replaced by Deshaun Watson, that's a double punch in the face. That's like, not only am I losing my job to a quarterback, I'm losing my job to like a trash can person. And like, that's not good either. So I feel bad for him in that regard.
Also to bring it back to the theme of confidence and narcissism and all these things, Baker Mayfield, as a former walk-on, I mean, is this the start of his like Rudy training montage? Like, will he does he become, because like you're getting replaced by it seems as though he's given up. He's like, I'm not as good an athlete, but I'll at least show him a better guy.
Right. And who knows? I mean, this is the fork in the road, right? The Johnny Manziel fork. Johnny Manziel had all the commercials and a lot of pub and then he disappeared. Baker Mayfield, a lot of commercials. He's actually fairly decent at them. So now what happens? I'll be curious to see, but I do respect the whole, I'm going to say something before you get to. I that's just a little bit of good petty. It's the good kind of petty.
I also liked his awareness. I love the opening sentence, which showed awareness of this isn't about anything else. I'm not trying to send smoke signals.
Right. Because he knows we're going to read it all.
Exactly. So he knew, he didn't do the Aaron Rodgers, like, I'm going to write a sonnet and then let you interpret what this means.
IQ, figure it out.
Yeah. 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 And Aaron Rodgers, I think, is a garbage piece of shit, too.
Well, that's the Bears fan in you talking now. Obviously.
Yeah, right.
Been lifetime Bears fan.
I just, yeah, and it's not even like the vaccine. He's just an asshole. Like, the vaccine just proved more of the asshole that I thought he was before.
I think
he's smarter than everyone in the room.
That's what it is. I think it took that. I think we always thought that, but it took a weird turn this year. Wasn't quite as charming this time. Yeah,
people, the vaccine gets mixed into it, but no, I just don't like him. I'm just like, you're not a likable dude. Like, yeah, that's it. You the whole thing where you say, I'm inoculated. What did he say? What was the word? I'm not as smart as him. I couldn't host Jeopardy, so immunized.
Yeah, immunized. Yes, which is immunized. Semantics.
Exactly. Well, that's a guy who thinks he's smarter than everyone else in the room, and it's like, okay. And honestly, Aaron Rodgers' lie made him even more of an asshole. That's how you know someone's a dick, when their lie, like in their lie, they become more of a dick. He's like, I found out that I have this special blood type where I had to get a special type of thing to get it done. It's like, okay, Aaron, what about all the children with your special type of blood type? Why don't you release this other medication that would have helped other people?
All the kids.
In your lie. In your lie, you're hoarding your fake medication, so it's like
hoarding is the best
part. But like, that's why I like like Baker Mayfield, to me, like, even in his thing, like, he's like, hey, don't read into any of this. He's like, I'm saying it all up front.
I like that.
Oh, I actually kind of like this guy. I like, it showed a level of awareness, like, oh yeah, I know what people are going to do with this. Aaron Rodgers would have done the other thing where he'd be like, today is the day where football has gone array. And he turns into the fucking Riddler. And you're like, okay, dude, I don't want to play this stupid fucking game.
Well, and Baker also.
Oh, did you?
No, good. I was just saying, he addressed the fans, because what happens, I think, look, when you're about to lose your job or leave a job, there are going to be harsh feelings, but it's usually between you and like executives or suits or the. Yes. I think it was cool that he was like making sure, hey, whatever happens, I loved y'all, you made it great, blah blah blah, and that fans want to hear that.
Mom and dad are getting a divorce. This ain't your fault, kids.
You didn't do anything.
We're still going to go to Disney World. You're going to get 2 days. Don't worry.
Although technically it is your fault, kids. Just so you know, I want to be the one to tell you the truth. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to live out my new favorite show. It's NCAA tourney time, and basketball and hockey also very much in full swing. So for many of us, there is no better way to enjoy those games than by having a little skin in them, which is why BetMGM is still the exclusive betting partner of The Athletic. And as a fan of The Athletic, you can get a great offer when you use BetMGM too. Sign up with BetMGM, get a $200 bonus when you bet $10. Plus, get a free 1-year subscription to The Athletic. Just sign up using promo code TheAthleticPod and get in the game with the king of sportsbooks. That's a $200 bonus when you bet $10, plus a free year Athletic subscription when you use The Athletic Pod at checkout. New customer offer. Download the BetMGM app today. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions.
21 years of age or older to wager. Arizona, Colorado, Washington, D.C., Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia only. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona, 1-800-522-4700 in Colorado, Washington, D.C., Nevada, Wyoming, and Virginia, 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help in Michigan, 1-800-GAMBLER in Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. Call or text the Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789 in Tennessee, or call 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana.
All right, welcome back to What Did I Miss? We're both Bachelor fans. However, full disclosure, you have been a Bachelor fan. I've watched 2 episodes in 2 weeks, and I find myself completely intrigued by the entire. I don't know where I've been. I know the thing's been on for 45 years, but somehow I've missed them all.
Sure.
Are they always as ridiculous? Was this guy's name Clayton? This one that just happened?
So you watched what episodes? Like the final 2 episodes of Clayton's
Yeah,
season?
they were in Iceland. He told one girl he slept with 2 of them. He loved all 3. One left. There was like pride
Yes.
involved for 1 minute. I was like, "Oh, go girl!"
You
And then it was gone.
you came in at game 7
Oh
of
wow. Okay.
like that was like a game 7, shot made at the buzzer. Like you saw like one of the better episodes or string of episodes of all time. There's a lot of regular season games that go with The Bachelor. I love The Bachelor. I yell at it, and what I do is I make the show more fun. And I think
Yeah.
for some people, dating and relationships is the hardest part of some people's lives. So when they watch a show like that, it's like messing with something that's very difficult for them. So my job is that when I watch it, I make fun of it in a way that is a lighthearted way to look at it. But I also like breaking down the show. So
Oh, God, yeah.
and I break it down like it's sports. So I just and what I get told a lot is like, couples watch through my stories because I make it palatable for them to watch together.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy the show. And like, I understand it's a reality show and you have to like kind of leave your cynicism at the door.
Oof,
I compare The Bachelor to professional wrestling. Professional wrestling, we all know it's fake, but you still got to jump off the top rope. It still hurts to hit the mat. So you still got to break up. You still got to go for a first kiss. You still got to go and ask someone out. You still have to go on the date. So all of these things are real, the small moments. So I'm happy to have you a part of Bachelor Nation. I'm happy to greet you and bring you in. What did you think? Did you have a good time?
I mean, I was blown away with the quickness with which people described falling in love, trust, saying that someone has your trust. I was like, I've known people for 30 years. They don't have my trust. Like I'm not going to know someone for 10 minutes. It was just, and then as a woman, I think you watch it too. Like, come on, ladies, why are we crying over this schlub? Like, this is not a prize.
Well,
you don't want this guy.
You're totally right. And, I think this is why women get disappointed by the show because, there's like, women are interested in relationships. They're looking for relationships. And then you have this dude who's like 28. He's a big doof who doesn't even seem like he's ever even like talked about his feelings once before. You could tell all his responses are on the fly. You could tell every woman on the show has discussed their dating life to no ends at every brunch table she's ever been at. So they're like professional daters, the women. This is why I have always believed that The Bachelor should be older and very rich. He needs to be someone he needs to be someone that you would put aside all of these things that make you go, am I really in love? Like, I mean, the idea that these people fall in love before ever seeing how one interacts with their cell phone is insane. Like they've never seen the other person scroll on Instagram for 3 hours in a row.
Yeah,
so
it's a turn off.
How do they know? That's why I believe the next Bachelor should, and I know I just said I don't like him, but he's our best candidate, Aaron Rodgers.
Wow. Okay. And now I like this. All right. So
He's
then let's
good looking.
Let's cast it
He's
then.
rich.
Yeah.
We should cast
Does it
it.
Need anything?
But Aaron Rodgers is in and his brother actually won The Bachelorette. His brother is dating JoJo, who is my favorite bachelorette of all time. She's like awesome and gorgeous and all. She's one of my favorites. And he wouldn't come on the show. It was revealed that he doesn't talk to his family via the show. So this is
that's
also
how
goes
we found
into,
out.
This also goes into why I think he's kind of an asshole. Like, you couldn't even have fun with this show. So, but Aaron Rodgers is rich. He could offer the lifestyle that The Bachelor kind of shows, the Cinderella tale.
Right.
And he's pretty good looking. And he's, he thinks he's smarter than everyone else. So that's a fun. And also he would be like just a pleasure to watch.
Pleasure.
Think of himself like a pleasure to watch the cockiness just show through on a 15-week season. Like I would do anything.
Wait, 15. I didn't realize it was that long. Okay, so we're casting the
12.
show.
I think it varies.
Same thing. That's okay. Well, maybe they could. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so he's going to be our bachelor. We will cast the show because, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are like a general set of sort of character tributes, right? Like the attributes that they need to have. For example, like, well, there's a first impression rose. So across the world of sports, who are we giving that to for Aaron Rodgers, or who's he giving it to?
The first impression rose, I guess it would have to go to like a rookie, right? It would have to be like someone that you're like, they're going to be great. We really think they're going to be great.
Like they hit you hard. Okay.
The first impression rose is someone that right out of the first episode, they're like, that person, I really have a weird instant connection with them. Who would be that person? I'm trying to think. Devontae
Adams for me, because that's his guy, but it's not a rookie.
Not a rookie as much.
It could also be, and it doesn't have to be football. Feels like it's going to be football though.
I mean, I guess like the first impression rose would be like, who's the player he's injured, but he would have been a great first impression rose. He plays for the Pelicans.
Oh, Zion Williamson?
Zion Williamson is like the type to be a first impression rose. A lot of hype. You're like, wow. They come out of the gate. They have the look. They got striking. Yeah. You have an instant connection with them. You're like, put them on all the commercials. Just give them the Gatorade. Give them the Nikes. This is and then sometimes that to me, like Zion Williamson is like a first impression rose type.
I like that.
And it's not working out right now because he keeps getting injured, but he definitely had that, like, coming out of college, like, that's who would get that first impression.
I buy that. Okay. All right. I like this. Now I get it. Okay. So there's always a fan favorite, right? I mean, you just described JoJo as one of yours. So fan favorite in an Aaron Rodgers Bachelor show.
Like, who's a personality that we just love? Like in sports. I
I feel like right now, Ja Morant is highly, highly, highly loved.
Yes.
Like, he can do no wrong. He's in every commercial. He's fun to watch. He's fun to listen to. He's fun for everything. So if I was picking right now, I'm going with Ja Morant.
And so Ja Morant, the other part about him is like the fan favorite usually ends up coming out of the show with like tons of Instagram followers and like being an instant influencer. Like,
yes,
I would buy Ja Morant's shoe.
Everything. Yeah. Total. So I would too. Okay. All right.
His beauty routine.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever, sweet with skinny tea, whatever crap he's trying to sell me. Okay. There's this one. This one I figured out right away because of my cynicism, but the one who's clearly angling to be the next Bachelor.
So who's looking to be the next Aaron Rodgers is really kind of in that, like, who's that quarterback that you're like, this is too slick.
I mean, the thing about it is, I'm going to say this name, but it's not because I think he's done anything to try too hard. I think he's just chill, and I want to say Joe Burrow. Not because he's slimy or sneaky, just because he is cool.
Well, here's the thing about Joe Burrow. We are at a nexus point in his career. Right now, the outfits, like the 90s look that he walks into the stadium with, it's cute right now. And he's captured our hearts now. So he's made us all want him to be the Bachelor. And what happens is they get the fame, and now we have to see what that turns into. So he is a perfect choice, I think.
Yeah. Is he going to go monster road or charming and adorable road? We don't know
yet. Is this a phase? Like, I think we want the Joe Burrow thing to be a phase more than anything. Like, we want this to evolve. He can't keep doing this if he keeps not winning Super Bowls.
Right. It's not cute. You can't do that forever. It's not cute at all. Which then leads you to, there's the one or probably multiple ones that are in it literally just for social clout. Which to me, like, I watch the Love Islands and whatnot of the world. It's an investment in oneself, because when you do these shows, you get to go on and make money from it for at least a while.
You get something out of it. You got to walk away with some sort of parting gift.
Right.
I mean, to me, that's a little bit Embiid. Like, Embiid does stuff on social media where you're like, what are you trying to be Barkley before you can be Barkley?
Right.
Like, are you trying to be Shaq before you can be Shaq? You got to win a couple of championships before I'm sitting here, joking around with you.
Yep. I was thinking Kyle Kuzma only in the fashion sort of ridiculous, like bizarro world stuff, because that's if you're not doing that for social, I don't really know why you're doing it.
Well,
I can't like
I
it.
used to think this about JJ Watt. Remember when
I did too.
Remember when JJ Watt was on Hard Knocks?
Yes.
And he did multiple montages of him working out alone.
Yep.
And you're like, dude, what are you trying to convince us of? Like, did you say to in a world, are you expecting us to believe that you didn't say, hey, camera crew, I'm going to stay after if you want to catch a couple of slow-mo shots.
Yeah.
So that everyone thinks that I'm John Henry.
If you want to light it up and make it real dramatic, I'm cool with that too.
Yeah.
No, I remember that. It was like this weird moment where JJ Watt was becoming unbearable and then sort of redeemed himself, natural disasters, and became a hero in that regard. But yeah, there's that. So then he is not, because again, I have to believe, otherwise how could this enterprise last for as long as it has? But some people are there for the right reasons, right? Like somebody's actually there to go through a journey to find love that lasts forever. Is that possible? And who is that person?
See, I want to say it's Tom Brady, because I don't want to sound like a fanboy, but like he was like, Tom Brady looked at his family. Like, we have to believe that Tom Brady loves football as much as he says he loves football. Because he retired to be with his family, and then he was like, no, I really love football more than them. I'm going to go back. And so I do think that his reasons are right to him.
Actually, you know what? I buy that. He's also weirdly could be the second one, which is the one person who's weirdly older than everyone else that's there. I feel like he knocks out two categories.
He does. He knocks out two categories. That's a Tom Brady one. Like, how does he go in a lot? Like, what does he talk to people about? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel old around the kids that work on this podcast, but like, it's not a locker room environment. Like, I don't have to walk into a room and sort of lead them. And I guess, you know what? He's clearly hired a savvy enough team for his social stuff, because he's not putting those videos together. There's no way. I wouldn't know how to begin to do that. He's good. Like, whoever he's got helping him, killing it. I'll give him that. Well, again, it goes back to awareness. Like, you have to be willing to be the old guy in the room. Right. To be the old guy in the room.
Right.
You can't just sit there. Like, he can't do Westbrook. Like, Russell Westbrook just won't believe he's the old guy in the room, so he won't do things to be the old guy in the room. Tom Brady, he's like, I don't get it. I'm going to hire a social media team. I'll learn what the kids are doing these days.
What are the kids doing? That's the phrase. What are the kids doing? There's one who has a weird job. Now, for me, I think entrepreneur is always my favorite job label for young humans on television. But in this capacity, a sports-related human with a weird job that Aaron Rodgers could.
Who was the athlete that got paid in crypto?
There've been a couple, but Odell Beckham took a big chunk of his in crypto.
And Ndamukong Suh, wasn't he like the guy?
Oh, he might have.
Ndamukong Suh was always the like entrepreneur first, football player second. Like,
there's like Larry Fitzgerald is another guy that's like an entrepreneur. I mean, it's brilliant, because I'm happy for everyone that's figured that out. But yeah, that's like, I wish there was somebody who was sort of a catfish person, a fisherman, or what, I forget what the words are. What is the thing Oklahoma people do where they go in dirty water and stick their hands in a hole? Noodling? Is that it? Yeah, noodling. I want someone to be a noodler.
I think it's called a plumber.
I just had one here. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're taking a quick break because we only have a few left. My two favorite ones are in this next group, so we'll be right back. Hi, I'm Michelle Beadle, and recently 10,000 sent me some goodies, which I immediately handed over to my brother because, well, he's going to be the tester of all things 10,000. I can tell you this. He loved it. They make the highest quality, best fitting, most comfortable training shorts, well, he's ever worn. Tons of features, silver ion for odor protection, no bounce pockets, breathable, lightweight shell fabric, even has a no bounce foam pocket and an optional liner that's also very comfortable and prevents chafing. There's a versatile shirt too. It's the perfect workout shirt, lightweight, breathable, and durable. In addition to the interval short, they make gear specific to other types of training. Everything from running to Olympic lifting to boxing, you will find a short for all the ways that you train. The brand believes in being better than yesterday, a stoic dedication to continuous improvement, not just overnight success. They have a team of over 200 athletes testing their gear to ensure the perfect design, fabric, trims, and fit. Right now, 10,000 is offering our listeners 15% off your purchase. Go to 10,000.cc/miss to receive 15% off your purchase. That is 10,000.cc/miss. If you're just joining us, that's weird because it's a podcast, and I don't even know how one would begin to just join a podcast that's almost over. But that being said, we are Bachelor fans, me new, Jared old,
Yes.
and we've taken Aaron Rodgers and cast him as our next hypothetical Bachelor, and we are now filling in the roles of all the potential mates that he could have. Don't add us either. It's all a joke, you psychopaths. So there's one, if not multiple
Sports
ones.
Sports fans not taking a joke?
Yeah, I know,
What?
right? What? That's not right. That's not what they do. So there's always one or two in the crowd.
Sports fans are great jokers.
They love when we joke about, especially their favorite athlete. They love jokes about that person.
Yeah.
Who's in love?
It's not about them at all.
No, it's not about them. From what I've seen, there's always one or two that are there, but they're still technically hung up on an ex. So they're not all the way there.
So I guess this is someone who's changed teams.
Right.
Like, I guess this would be Ben Simmons.
That's a good one. Well, God, it could be James Harden
Ben
too, because
Simmons-
he's changed a million times. They're both
Sure,
very
but
changeable.
Ben Simmons still hasn't even played. Like, he's
great
still
point.
caught up on the stuff that happened in Philly. Like, get in the game, man. You change teams. You got what you wanted. Like, let's go.
That's a good call. Yeah, we still have no idea what version of himself we're going to get now. Okay. All right.
No clue.
This one took a weird turn. But someone whose dark past is revealed halfway through the season. This could be dark.
I mean,
weird.
I don't even know if we want to go down this road. You know,
Like, okay, dark past, maybe in like there's like comic book nerds. I think of the Lopez brothers.
well, what's a player that is notorious for messing up in the playoffs? I guess it's Harden.
It's Harden
Like,
again.
Harden.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's never
Captain not playoffs.
You know, he goes to the playoff. Yeah, he doesn't really, light it up in the playoffs. So his dark past might pop up again. He's going to be on one of the best teams
it will.
yeah.
He'll suck. That's what we're trying to say. Once the playoffs come, he's going to suck. I promise you, don't bet on him otherwise. The one who's maybe, ironically for this guy, too smart to really be doing this in the first place.
Who would that be?
God.
Who's it?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is the guy that's supposed to be too smart.
Yeah, he's the too
smarter than
smart
him?
guy.
I want to find that
plenty
person.
of them.
Yeah.
Whoever took the vaccine.
It could be Kyrie, because Kyrie, not even just vaccine, the world is flat, all of his crazy ideas, like he might be quote unquote too smart for the room.
He believes himself to be too smart. Yeah.
Right. That's dangerous. Is that Zach? I can't think of anyone. Or not anyone active. Like, that's the thing.
Is there?
God.
Well, I also believe Embiid is like a really smart dude. Like his press conferences are pretty great.
His humor is such too that you can tell. Like you have to be smart to be funny. I tell myself that anyways. The one who ends up hooking up early. These last two are my favorite. So the hook up early one is just awesome because everyone's watching.
It just goes for it.
Yeah. Just says, you know what? Love is love. I want what I want. I feel like like Anthony Davis just went wherever. I mean, LeBron to me is the one, because he kind of chases it, he chases that ring.
Anthony Davis is a good one. He made a move too early. Now he's stuck on a team where he has to be the guy, and he doesn't really want to be the guy.
Right. He's not really the guy.
And he's not the guy. So that could be a good one.
And then the last one, which is my personal favorite, the one with judgmental parents. And my first instinct was
Odell Beckham.
Fan, like, why Odell Beckham?
Didn't his dad call out the Browns?
That is true. He literally has judgmental parents.
Yeah. Like, and the dad called out Baker Mayfield, and he was right.
And put videos together to like show it. Like that wasn't even. That's a good parent.
That was a highlight reel.
Parent.
A low light reel. Good. He put together a low light reel. That's a judgy
And he was
parent.
right. He was right. His kid's a
right.
Super Bowl champ. Like, yeah, no, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be Lonzo Ball's dad, but like he kind of disappeared. So, which is good for everybody.
Went away.
Yeah, he went. It's like you know what? He let his kids go and blossom, and it's working. I stand corrected in a lot of what I used to say about that. So there it is. There's my version of apology. So Aaron Rodgers, I feel like, given our gifts, will find love in what we've just set out for him, if he chooses.
Or he'll think he's too good for everybody in the room and he'll do his own thing.
Or there's that. I can't wait for this next season. I know it's 2 chicks, 2 bachelorettes. One seems to have a wit about her. The other one maybe not much, but we'll see what happens. Jared, I'm bummed that I didn't catch up to The Bachelor until the very end, but now I look forward to the following season so that we can become best friends. Where can everyone find you?
You're here.
It's
I'm here
everywhere.
for you.
Yeah, we're going to be best friends because
You've
of this.
made it to Bachelor. Yeah, we're besties now. You've made it to Bachelor Nation. We invite you with open arms. So happy to have you. So happy to be here. I'm on Instagram at Jared Freid. I yell at every episode. Every episode from last season. You can catch up on last season via my highlights on my Instagram. So if you go to my highlights, every episode is there from Clayton's season. You can go from beginning to end and catch up. But I got multiple podcasts. That's why my voice sounds like I smoked 1,000 cigarettes today. This is what happened. At the end of the season, like all the players go get surgeries.
Yep.
I'm at the end of Bachelor season, and that's why I'm hurting right now. So I need to go. I got to go to the Maldives and take a vacation. And
you do.
Come back refreshed for the Bachelorette.
Oh, okay. That's what we're gonna do. He's also the board lord. I will at you my next charcuterie party.
Yes.
That is happening.
Please.
Thank you so much.
I will review it.
Yeah, no, you are. And my friends are so good at it. As a reminder for this little podcast here, do the whole like rating, reviewing, subscribing, voicemails, text 631-397-0403. It's because it's such a memorable number that I have such an easy time with it. Good Lord. Jared, thank you. Aaron Rodgers, best of luck on this next season of The Bachelor. We'll see you guys next week.